So good evening and welcome to the first race of the Next Gen Season 13. And we are with the Group A1 Tourers for round number 1 here at Brands Hatch Indy. The short version of the Brands Hatch as Tim goes off immediately at Paddock Hill, almost gets collected by a red Mercedes. We have a full grid lined up here. And it's going to be one to savour. And remember, this a open choice race effectively for the drivers. So any of the 3 cars available, obviously the Nissan and the Audi, both have been banned. So as per always, a 10-minute qualifying session will be followed by around about 20 to 25 minutes worth of racing. So let's have a look at the drivers for tonight. We have the Les in a BMW E30. D. Whitehouse 7. He's in a Mercedes 190E. And GR Fraser is in a Mercedes. Tim is in the BMW. Edu in the Mercedes. So you have some times coming in. Whitford in the Mercedes there, as Fraser's a big drift king. Jack in the Sierra. Adam Morris is in the Mercedes. Jamie F13 in the Sierra Cosworth as well. The Royston's in the Sierra. One High Mofo in the BMW. Cindy Whitehouse, Tim Deleuze. We've seen Shockshaft is in a Mercedes. Slider Gas is in a Mercedes, so we're already down to 15. Scooby G in his typical Sierra. AR Gizmo, a newcomer to the championship, is in a Mercedes as well. Don't know who has disconnected this early on. Let's see if we can find out. Nope, no idea. But we're here at Brands Hatch Indy, a very short circuit, but a cracker for racing. It used to be quite the motorcyclist venue back in its past, and it's gradually got better and better. Hosted F1 races around here on the 4 circuit. Scooby yet to have a complete lap in. Let's see if we can pick someone who is coming around that final corner. There we go. Jack Timothy 3 Synopsis. Let's go on board with him on the bonnet cam on the Sierra Cosworth. We come up to Paddock Hill. Quite a late entry apex. Clip the curb. Put the power on as early as you can. Drift out wide, but not too wide. Up to Druids. A hairpin right. Down to second gear. Bit of a weird one. You can take it in early and drift out wide, or you can take it late and square the corner off. Come down to Graham Hill Bend, a fast 90 left. Tucked in onto the curb. You're running a bit wide, too wide there for Jack. It was Caesar who left. Into Surtees. Just flick left into Clearways. Getting a very late apex, and into Clark Curve as we see the BMW ahead of a spin. And Jack aborts the lap. Currently Scooby G on pole position at the moment by half a second. This really is his home circuit round here. He heads up to Paddock Hill, although Jamie F13 has cut that gap by 0.364. Whitford in third. There's Fraser. in 4th. Slider Gas is in 5th. Jack currently in the pits in 6th place. One High Mofo is in 7th. Royston is in 8th. Adam Morris is 9th. Delez is in 10th. WRT Edu is currently sat in 11th. Not really where he'd want to be right now. D Whitehouse 7 on his debut is currently in 12th. AOR Gizmo in 13th. Tim currently sat in 14th. Shockshaft 15th and Caesar. So go with him on this lap then as he goes into Paddock Hill. On his current attempt. Slightly gets getting penalised for track limits. Into Druids then for Caesar. He's got to nail this lap. He's got 4 minutes left of this qualifying session to put a time in. He hits the brakes. He's gone wide through Graham Hill Bend. That will sacrifice any time he's got going there. And currently Scooby quite happy, although Jamie only 0.184 now behind the defending champion in his Sierra Cosworth. He heads up towards Druids and letting cars pass there. I think that's Whitford, who's on a flying lap right now. Down to, or is he? Oh no, he's not. On a down to Graham Hill Bend. Might just come on his out lap actually. As he heads through Surtees and Clearways and into Clark Curve. Down the main straight, Slider Gas has popped it into 3rd place with a 48.835. There's Jack having a bit of a recovery there. Sierra looking very feisty on the rear end at the moment. One of the harder cars to tame. But Scooby and Jamie doing it very well at the moment with a 1-2. Down the main straight we come with Jack. He'll be starting a brand new lap, so see what he can do. There's one High Mofo on the in the BMW. It's worth a shout. Tim not in last moment. Caesar82 still hasn't put in a decent time. But there's Tim in his BMW. AR Gizmo coming in the pit lane. In 14th place, there's Edu. Now we're expecting a little bit more from Edu here. He loved his Nissan, which has been banned for season 13. But remember, he did win 2 races. In season 12. So he'll be looking for a much better time at the moment. Adam Morrison is 6th. Jack puts it 5th place with his current lap. Only 0.4. This is sensational stuff. The top 7 covered by less than 7/10 of a second. Can you do make that the top 8 in less than a second? Comes over towards the start-finish line for Edu. Across the line he comes, and he puts it 8th, and it is less than a second. Less than 7/10 cover the top 8 now here at Brands Hatch Indy. Oh, and he's absolutely lost it straight into the barriers. There's Royston coming across the line for his current attempt. Puts it 9th, and that makes it 9 drivers within 7/10 of each other. This grid is getting tighter and tighter. Oh, that's a spinning car in the background. I don't know who that is. I think that might be Shockshaft. No, it's not Shockshaft. Who is that then? Who is a Mercedes? It's not Adam Morris. It's not Edu. And Whitford puts it 2nd on the grid now. 0.166 behind Scooby G. It was Caesar82 that spun it at Graham Hill. Well, Movo goes to the pits, and that's his qualifying ended. So Here comes Sliding Gas across the line. He stays in 4th. There goes Edie carrying on his current lap as well. The Les comes across the line, puts it in 10th place. The top 9 covered by less than 8/10 because Scooby has gone even quicker. He's put in a 48.542. Here comes Whitford. Can he steal it away? The answer is no, he can't. Sliding Gas. There, here comes Fraser. Can he get up the running order? He's only 0.578 off of Scooby and he's 6th place. This is how tight the grid is. Across the line, no change. Here comes Sliding Gas. Bit of a wiggle, and he doesn't improve either, and that is qualifying over for the first time in the Group A1s. Scooby G does take pole position away from Whitford 0. Jamie FL30 is in 3rd. Slider Gas is in 4th. Jack is 5th. Fraser 6th. Adam Morris is in 7th. Edu 8th. Royston 9th. The Les is in 10th. One Home Mofo is 11th. The White House 7 is 12th. Seat 82 not having a great qualifying there in 13th. Shockshaft 14th. AOR Gizmo on his debut is in 15th. And NGR Tim 78 rounds out the 16 players and drivers for tonight. I will agree with you on that one, Matthew. Definitely a exciting qualifying. I mean, let's have a look at that. The top 9 covered by less than 8/10 of a second, and the Les in 10th. I mean, that's 1.2 seconds covers the top 11. This really does show how tight this league is, but it goes Sierra, Merc, Sierra, Merc, Sierra, Merc, 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 Sierra. The first BMW is the Les. So maybe showing that the BMW isn't as strong around here as the other two. What's your prediction for the race then, Matthew? Then, if you could predict the winner, who would it be? Interesting to know. So we'll wait the session to conclude fully and go to the race. News from the pit lane is Jamie's steering wheel has collapsed, so he's giving him Jack is giving him a minute to sort it out. Bit of an interesting car issue, that's the steering wheel collapsing. And it seems like we're good to go then. So here we go, the first race of season 13. We're at Brands Hatch Indy. We have the 3 red lights for the first time. And we are green at Brands Hatch. Who's got the best getaway here? I think Whitford has absolutely flown off the line. A bit of contact there between Jamie and Sliding Gas as we come up into Paddock Hill for the first time. Do we get through Paddock Hill cleanly? Oh, a bit of a wiggle there for, I believe, that was Edu. No, it isn't. Going through Druitt, and Jamie's had issues. A little bit of a slide from the Sierra man. Holds him and a few others up. Jack now right behind him as we go up towards 30s for the first time. Whitford 0 leads from Scooby G. Sliding Gas is in 3rd, but he's got Edu right up his shaft coming into clearways. Edu has a poke there, but can't quite make the move. There's Adam Morris. He's currently sat in 5th place at the moment. We head up towards Paddock Hill for the second time of 25. And that is Jack looking down the inside of Jamie into Paddock Hill, and Jack has gone round almost. Very well saved from Jack Team 53 Synopsis. I think he just got on the curb, made the back end loose, and now he's under attack from Fraser. A little bit of a tap going into Druids. Nothing significant, and instead Fraser half spins. He now loses positions. He's behind Royston. He looks to be... Oh, and one high mofo's gone round, trying to squeeze down the inside. That puts him into 13th place. Jack down to 11th, possibly giving Fraser the place back. Whitford still leads, and in the background that is Edu having to try the inside at Paddock Hill against Slidegas. It still doesn't work, but Slidegas has clipped the inside curve, which has sent him around, and Edu's got a penalty already this season. But Slidegas, too much curb on the inside of Paddock Hill, makes him go round. Matthew thinking Scooby will win, but he's got to get past a charging Whitford, who's gone a little bit wide there through Surtees. But he has kept Scooby G behind him. Edu, what type of penalty does he have? A 1 second penalty for Edu then. He's got to get away from Adam Morris as fast as he can. There's Jamie FL30 closing in on his good mate. There's the lads. Royston is 7th, Fraser 8th, Jack up to 9th, DY House. That looks like Jack, looking down the inside of Fraser, decides to back out of it. Fight another day as Fraser gets a little bit loose coming out of Paddock Hill. Almost gave Jack the opportunity. There's a fantastic little battle, but here comes Jamie FL30. He's right at the back of Adam Morris as we head through Surtees. 4/10 of a second between these two. On board with Jamie as Adam Morris gets a little bit out of shape there, coming through Clearways and Clark Curve. Up to Paddock Hill, you can see that Sierra gaining and gaining. Jamie backing the car in, using the brakes. Into Druids then, and they are both starting to close in on Edu. At the front though, and Scooby G still can't do anything about Whitford. He is gaining though, coming up towards Surtees, but can he get the move done in the next couple of laps? Because Whitford is a very good defender. We know that from Ruin Leasart and from various other battles here. Behind though we have this trio of Jack TMT3 Synopsis, NGR Royston, and here comes Fraser to try and get the inside at Clearways and into Clark Curve. It doesn't quite pay off though, and those three stay where they are. AOR Gizmo and Slidergas now having a bit of a battle in the Mercedes. Slidergas, a bit of a horrible predicament really, just catching the curb slightly wrong, and that's cost him a lot of time and a lot of places. That is a BMW of Tim 78 having a bit of a spin. Now looking to try and get back on the circuit, but that looks like Fraser trying to take on Royston again through Surtees up into Clearways and into Clark Curve. And this time Fraser's got the run onto the main straight. As he'll look down the inside of Paddock Hill to finish off this move. He's going to have to go careful of that curb, although that Sierra absolutely flies down the straight. But on the brakes, Fraser straight back at the inside. A little bit of a slide as we head towards Druids now, still side by side, and Fraser still not giving this up. Royston trying to shut the door, squeezes Fraser very well. But Fraser coming out of Druids is ahead and into Graham Hill Bend. That will be the move complete by the Mercedes man. A very good overtake. As they head now towards Surtees. At the front though, and Scooby G is right on the back of Whitford. He now looks to the inside of Paddock Hill. Sublime bit of driving that from the defending champion. He's bided his time really well, but Whitford is trying to get back at him. Coming up into Druids is not quite going to work. And Scooby G, as most would suspect really around Brands Hatch, is now leading this race. Oh, and he's gone very sideways out of Graham Hill Bend there. That's going to give Whitford the run coming up towards 30. But that Sierra is mighty fast in a straight line. Into Clearways and Clark Curve. And I fear that Scooby G might run away. Although Whitford a very good run. But I think the Sierra's acceleration is going to be too much here. Something has happened to Jamie. He's lost a lot of time. Maybe a spin or something. We've hit a bit wide going through Paddock Hill. He's got to go careful of that track limit section. Into Druids for the 9th time for 25. And that is Scooby definitely through. And with a half a second gap. Quite comfortable, I'd feel. I think Jack has had a bit of a spin. Yes, he has. Jack has had a bit of a spin coming through Paddock Hill again. That Sierra not being nice. I'm guessing he must be on a loose setup to have the extra power down the straight. What else is going on here? There's Fraser. Just ahead of Royston. Very wide. That's not quite the line I'd have taken through Surtees. Interesting rumours from our pit lane reporter of Boy Raxa in the comment section. Apparently Jamie's rig has collapsed again. That is the rumours. And he's holding it together with his hands and legs, which is not ideal in a car as bad to drive as the Sierra. And that is Whitford off. Whitford's off. That's Clark Curve. He's come through Clearways there. Maybe a bit too much curb, but whatever's happened, the back end was not happy with him. Whitford, a very nice drive thus far until that mistake. That drops him outside of the podium positions. There's Fraser. Gradually catching up with Jamie, who's got issues right now. But he's dragging Royston, a fantastic return to this series. He's been absolutely top dollar in this race. He's currently running his 7th, which is a fantastic achievement for him. One High Mofo could be getting caught here by... Oh no, Caesar's just gone to gravel, and Tim is unlapping himself. As long as he doesn't do a knock-on, that'll be fine. Shock shaft. Thankfully, all 16 runners still running on AOR Gizmo, having an issue through Paddock Hill. And now having to let the leading bunch through under the blue flags. Whitford has really dropped off the back of the leading trio. Jamie's having more issues, and this time Fraser's up the inside of him, going into Druids. That is game, set, and match for the Mercedes man. He is through and into the top 5. Interesting. I think Royston may have had a bit of a penalty or something there. He slowed up massively. But at the front, Scooby G has been rapidly caught here by the Mercedes of Edu. Remember, Edu, the only man with a penalty right now, 1 second to his name. As they head into Druids for the 13th time, marking around about the halfway mark here of the first Group A1 race of Season 13. Now Scooby's lost the back end going through Graham Hill Bend. That's going to give Edu a very nice run past down the Cooper Straight. And into Surtees. Maybe that Sierra just not quite stable enough right now. There's Fraser. He's not really dropped Jamie at all here. And they are catching up to Whitford. Let's see who else is potentially battling around the circuit. No one. And Edu obviously still in the lead coming out of Paddock Hill Bend as we watch Scooby and them come into Druids, and now Adam Morris is on the tail as well. This is crucial because Adam Morris is a very big threat right now in that Mercedes. He's looking quick and he's looking racy, and he tends to be the raciest at the end of the race as they head through Surtees and into clearways and Clark Curve for the 14th time. Just 11 laps remain after this one. It sounds a lot, but it really isn't. Into Paddock Hill for the 15th time. Adam Morris just backing off slightly, letting these two scrap it out, knowing that if anything bad comes of it, he is right there in the pecking order. Something's happened to Fraser. Yeah, Fraser's had an issue. He's now down in 8th place, whilst we've been watching that first place battle right now. The Led's having a good start here in 9th place. And D. Whitehouse, although that is the Les, off in into the grass. A big spin, commentator's curse. I do apologise, Les. As he allows D. Whitehouse back pass, although he's not out of the top 10. See, these boys not allowed traction control. Only the ABS system they are allowed. There is Fraser. Good running on his own, but back at the front, and we have Edu and Scooby still battling out, and Adam Morris with the best seat in the house, which I think we will go and join on the roof camera as we head through Graham Hill. See the way the Sierra takes off down that straight, but through the corners, the Mercedes is far, far superior. How late Adam Morris is on the brakes, but he can't quite get it turned in. And with Caesar, I believe that he's having to get out of the way of the leading pack. See the Sierra. Oh, Scooby, big mistake. Almost ruining his chances of even a podium there for Scooby. On the grass on the way into Paddock Hill. That is not the line you want. This trio really having at it. Oh, and this is a big run for Adam Morris, but look at the Sierra. That Sierra, phenomenal straight line pace right now. Whilst this is going on, Jack is gradually reeling in Jamie F430 for that top 5 place. It'd be fantastic if Jack can get the top 5 place. Right now though, Edu with his penalty is currently sat in 2nd place. Even though he is leading on track, he needs to be at least 1 second ahead of Scooby here to take the win. You can see him trying different lines, anything to get away from that Sierra. Beautiful driving that from Scooby G, drifting it through Graham Hill. Not the quickest way, admittedly, but very, very stylish. There's Jack again. He's having a look, see if there's any more battles. He's definitely closing in. Pulled another 10th out of Jamie, out of him on lap number 17. Not much in the way of battling further down the order. Caesar, just a little bit of a quiet one. Back up with the leading pack, and Edu still leads. Remember that 1 second penalty though. He's got to clear 1 second. And again, a little bit of sideways action there from Scooby. I wonder if that's the only way he can get it through there. As they head into Surtees and clearways. The lead staying out of the way. Fantastic driving from him. I know Jack wants me to use more different words, so I'll say sublime driving instead. And Tim superbly getting out of the way. Half a second the gap then is the lead, but further back the gap between Jack and Jamie is decreasing. That's now down to a half a second. Now, remember, we are hearing reports that Jamie is having issues with his rig. Not ideal in the middle of a race. And Idu's had a bit of an issue coming out of Graham Hill Bend there on lap number 20. He's lost the back end going into clearways. Amazingly, he's managed to gather that up. But here comes Scooby. The power of that Sierra. He's going to go around the outside. Will he clear him in time for Paddock? I don't think he will, because under the brakes, he will clear him. A fantastic bit of driving that from Scooby. Then he retakes the lead on track. And Idu instantly trying to get right back at him through Druids. He knows he has to clear him because he's got Adam Morris, and Idu currently sat in third place with that 1 second penalty. Jack and Jamie now getting very, very close between the two Sierras as they come through Druids for the 21st time. And we have our first retiree. It's not Tim either. Who is that? I believe that is Slidergas. He has retired from this race, so we'll score no more points. Scooby G still leads though, but it's now the battle here. Jack and Jamie, these two know each other very, 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 very well. They had a massive battle in the Touring Car League in Season 12. And that's a bit sideways from Jamie, which could allow Jack to pop the door open into Druids. He can't quite get there. And at the front, it's side by side between Idu and Scooby G. Idu retakes the lead on track. Fantastic stuff. Does Idu have any? Yes, Idu has now 3 seconds worth of penalty, so he's literally fighting for pride. As they go on to lap number 23, and Scooby looks around the outside of Paddock Hill Bend. Idu, oh, very, very squeezed. And a BMW of one high mofo trying to get back on the circuit. Very excellently not getting in the way, but Scooby retakes the lead around the outside. He squeezed Idu somewhat cruel, but he gets the job done. And now Adam Morris is looking to take advantage of this as he looks to pass Idu. Jack is up the inside of Jamie going into Druids, and that is moved on by the host. The man who went winless in the Group A's for the first time. Oh, and Jamie's tried to go right back down the inside at Graham Hill. The door never, ever going to be there, unfortunately. Now that is now Jack's top 5 position. Scooby G has built himself a 1 second gap to the two Mercedes behind him. These two running exactly the same livery, bar a colour change on some of the aesthetics parts. Almost like teammates of these two. And Idu pushing that Mercedes as much as he can. Again, not really much else battling on track, although these two Sierras have nearly found each other again. Can Jamie get the time back? I don't think he can. Here comes Scooby G. He's going to start the final lap. There's Idu. There is Adam Morris. That's your top 3, and pretty much guaranteed top 3. Just that Idu will probably finish in 3rd place here due to the penalty he has received. Whitford a very comfortable 4th right now, with Jack in 5th and Jamie in 6th, which we know he has issues as well. Fraser's got himself up into 7th at the moment. This is good from him. The White House 7 on his debut in 8th place. Royston is currently in 9th, the Les 10th, One High Mofo is in 11th, Caesar 82 is in 12th, AOR Gizmo on his debut is in 13th, Shockshaft is in 14th, Tim in 15th with the retiree of Slidias. But Scooby G will win round 1 of the Season 13 Group A1s, followed by Adam Morris, who benefits from Idu's 3 second penalty. But from start to finish, a very good race from Scooby G. Whitford a very unfortunate 4th, but That's the way it goes sometimes. Jack has got Jamie right up his chuff coming down towards the start-finish line. They're rubbing doors coming towards the line. It's going to be a tight finish, and Jamie has had a massive accident because of the contact. Jack will finish 5th with Jamie rolling across the line in 6th. Fraser will come home in 7th. D. Whitehouse 7 is in 8th place. A fantastic debut from that man. Royston is going to be in 9th place. The Les will be in 10th. One High Mofo 11th. Caesar 82 is in 12th. AR Gizmo will finish 13th. And Shockshaft 14th. With Tim in 15th place. What a fantastic first round we have of the Group A1s. Scooby G does win from Adam Morris. Edu is in 3rd courtesy of a 3-second penalty. Whitford is in 4th. Jack 5th. Jamie is in 6th. Fraser 7th. D. Whitehouse 7 is in 8th. Royston is in 9th, the Les is in 10th, One High Mofo was 11th, Caesar 82 in 12th, AR Gizmo in 13th, Shockshaft in 14th, Tim in 15th, and Slider Gas only completed just the 19 laps of the 25 as he retires. A fantastic race from the Eagles. They never disappoint. Absolutely never disappoint, these guys. Absolutely fantastic to watch, I think. Driver of the day. That's an interesting one. I mean, it could be so many people. It could be Adam Morris, a fantastic second. It could be Scooby, start to finish. Cracking battling, but pole to win on the first round. But it is at his favourite circuit. I think I'm going to go with D. Whitehouse 7. A fantastic, and I know I keep saying this word, fantastic, but it really is. It's a sublime drive actually from D. Whitehouse 7 on his debut. Didn't really set a brilliant qualifying, but he's ended up in 8th place. He's there, and he's got a solid top 8. Royston on return, really, because he competed in the last couple of rounds, I think, of season 12 after having to spend a bit of time away. Good 9th place. The Les on his return to sim racing after external issues, putting him in the top 10. It's just, the list could go on and on and on. It really could. However, round 2 comes live next Monday. And we go to Donington Park GP. Everyone will be in the Mercedes 190E. You can't fault that race. You can't fault the next one. Donington will always be a fantastic racing circuit. But from myself tonight and the Group A1s, we do thank you all for watching the racing tonight. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been an absolute cracker. Action almost everywhere you go. But do join us in a week's time for Donington Park in the Mercedes. But do join us next for the Modern Touring Cars. They're live from China in Zhuhai for their first round of Season 13. So that'll be around about 9:30. That will go up live. So join us for that, and join us next week for round 2 of the Group A1s. But for now, enjoy the rest of your evening.